Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Dr. Paul with another mail call. This is a book that I have been hunting for over a decade, and I'm super excited to open it up and share it with y'all. This is a Bronze Age first appearance of a fun character. It's always kind of been a supporting cast member for the Hulk, though he did have his own series briefly. I have been looking for a good copy of this book, like I said, for many years. It's tough to find a nice grade copy that people don't want an arm and a leg for, and I don't blame them, but I'm a bargain hunter, so you know, I got to keep hunting until I find the right book at the right price, right? So I think I found that, and I pulled the trigger on it, and I'm really excited about it. So what is it? Well, it's Incredible Hulk 141. This is July 1971, over 50 years old. I guess sort of the end of the Silver Age. Bronze Age hasn't really started yet in 71. This was advertised as a 5.0. You'll see that the seller, it was an eBay purchase. It was reasonably packed. You see that the seller actually had it maybe listed in their collection as a 5.5, but advertised it as a 5.0 to be a little bit conservative, and I appreciate that. You'll also note something very special about this copy. This is the Pence version, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But what is it and why do we care? Like I said, it's the first appearance of Doc Samson. This is written by Roy Thomas, illustrated by Herb Trimpe. I assume that he's always had this long hair, sometimes in a ponytail, whatever. I assume that's in reference to Samson, the biblical character. Herb Trimpe was really great on Hulk. John Severin inked it. That's incredible too. John Severin's, you know, Atomic Age stuff is really something to behold. I guess he was even involved in the late sort of golden age. So at any rate, again, this was advertised as a 5.0. That seems reasonable to me. Certainly better than a 4 or even a 4.5. I don't think it's quite a 6. I saw the pictures and I knew that it had a lot of potential with cleaning and pressing. There's a fair number of pressable defects, and there's a lot of soiling and other things that probably can be cleaned up quite well. And so I knew it had potential to be improved. Could it be a 5.5? You know, could it be a 6? I don't know. This looks like this is a printer's crease, so that's not going to actually detract, so that doesn't count against us. But we do have a few little creases, and then, as I said, the soiling and some general surface wear that I mentioned before. But a lot of that, it certainly can be improved. How much it could be bumped up from here, hard to say. So raws of the US version of this book go for about $150 to about $250. Interestingly, a Slabbed 5.0 has a fair market value of only $175. So the raws and the slab books are going about the same. Generally, it makes more sense to buy this in that mid-grade, just to buy a slabbed copy, because you buy a raw, you're taking risks. You have to have added costs associated with slabbing it, etc. So generally, if I were buying a Sense version in this mid-grade, I probably would just buy a slabbed book, a Slabbed 5 or a 6.0. because there's no reason to buy a raw book. You can get slabbed for the same price. However, we have the Pence version. And why do we care about that? The CGC census for the cents edition, the US version, almost 1,000 copies of this book. The CGC census for the Pence edition, 12. 12 total copies. Only one of them above a 6.5. I think there's a single 7.5. Well, there's nothing above an 8. I think there's a qualified 8 in the Pence. So I think they're like 6s and 7s is where this book tops out in terms of slabbed books in the Pence version. And again, 12. This is before Mark Jewler's variants, 71. So this is the only variant, and it is by far the rarest variant, right? 12 of these versus 1,000 of the cent version. This is approximately 100 times more rare than the cent version. So Pence editions are first printings. They're printed and manufactured at the exact same time on the exact same press as the American printing. As a matter of fact, just this plate is changed out, or just this part of the plate rather. And it is thought that the Pence version is actually the first ones off the press. And the reason why is some people have gone and looked at them and said that they think the printing plates are sharper, the ink is fresher and sharper printing generally on Pence versions versus US version. Also, they went on sale around the same time, but these had to go across the ocean. So they had to be basically kind of manufactured first so that they could get to their market at the same time and have an on sale date the same as they had in the US. So these are genuine first printings. They're the rarest printings, the rarest edition of the book. And for whatever reason in the marketplace, Pence versions typically sell for less than the US cent version. I find this perplexing and bizarre. Canadian price variants go for more. Even like second and third printings that are made 5 years later in different languages are starting to go for more. They're really picking up as a sort of subculture in the hobby. Why Pence versions are not more respected, I don't know, but I think the market is wrong about them. I think that it will eventually correct, and I do think eventually this will be by far the most desirable version of this book to have. So I'm betting that I'm right with my money. I'm investing in Pence comics wherever I can find them, including Silver Age Marvels, including Silver Age, big keys, which I'm, again, typically buying for slightly less than fair market value for the cent version, for a book that is far more rare. So I'm happily picking these up. I paid all in for this book $158. So that's on the low side of what you would pay for a raw of if this was the US. So again, slightly below what you would consider to be fair market value for a cent version of this book in this grade. And you might say, well, slabbed 5.0s are $175. So you really don't have any meat on the bone there. But because this is a Pence version, because there are only 12 in the census, I'm thrilled to get this book that is 100 times more rare than the cent version for $150 or $160. So anyway, that's the sort of purchase I'm making these days. Again, this market sell-off across all asset classes is putting comic books on sale and is creating lots of opportunity for adding wonderful books like this. This would be a PC book for me. Again, it's a book I've been looking for over a decade. I'm happy to pick up, even in mid-grade, happy to pick up the absolute rarest version of this book. And so I will be probably cleaning and pressing this for my personal collection. You know, they say everything's for sale for the right price, and I guess that's true even of books in my PC, but this is not one that I'm looking to flip. This is one that I'm just looking to purchase and have it be well bought, so that, you know, if I ever did decide to sell it, maybe I find an even nicer Pence copy and I want to flip this to partially finance it, I want to feel like I'm going to at least get my money out, or maybe maybe the market will finally recognize that I and others like me are right about these Pence versions, and they'll start paying a premium for them. We'll see. I hope not until after I complete my runs. All right. That's it for today. So enjoy the hunt, and until next time, take care of one another.